So today we're going to be trying to form the Byzantine Empire in Age of History 3. Now we all know that the Byzantine Empire was a very important empire in history until it fell to the Ottomans in 1453, but in today's playthrough we're going to be trying to bring it back in the modern day. So if you guys do enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new. As always, the support is greatly appreciated. Make sure to check out the 200k merchandise. There are some limited edition designs that are going away after December 31st, so if you want to grab something, I highly recommend you get it before it's gone. But let's go ahead and jump straight into this scenario. So to reform the Byzantine Empire, we are going to be playing as Greece. I'm not going to tweak any of the settings. We're not going to be playing in sandbox, so we're going to have to build our economy up to take on these other countries. But let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So first things first, we have to choose our rivals, and of course, one of them is going to be Turkey, and then the rest really don't matter. So like Iran, sure. And Belarus, yeah, why not? So for our research, I think we're gonna go after sustainable land use. That's gonna help our economy out, so we'll go ahead and queue that up. Here are all the advisors I went with. We'll go ahead and increase our growth rate, as well as our income production. And now is the waiting game, as I have to build up the Greek economy before we do anything else. So just as a quick overview of what the Byzantine Empire we are forming is going to look like, it includes all of Bulgaria and many other of these Balkan nations, such as North Macedonia. And most notably, we're going to need a good portion of Turkey. Now, this is not the Byzantine Empire at its peak, because that would look more like the Eastern Roman Empire, but who knows, maybe we'll conquer some additional land. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, it has been a while since I played Age of History 3, so I might be a little bit off my game, but I still know my overall strategy, which is to build as many economic buildings early on as possible. This will stimulate our economy, give us more money, and also increase our population, which is important for recruiting more manpower, which of course we need to invade other countries. So you just saw me building a few ports. I'm also now gonna put some granaries here and there. I don't know if the location really matters in this game, but we're just going to spread them out, because if we get invaded, it's better to have them not all in one exact place. Over in South America, it looks like Brazil is invading Bolivia and also Chile. I don't know how that war started, but Brazil is putting belt to Bolivia right now. But on the topic of war, I think it's about time we start planning who we're going to invade first. And I think it has to be North Macedonia. You know, they're the phony Greece, if you will. I apologize to my North Macedonian viewers. Oh, interesting. So Romania has just offered us an alliance. Now, I don't know who Romania is beefing with. Actually, it doesn't look like they're beefing with anybody. They have a non-aggression pact with Ukraine and a defensive pact with Bulgaria. I don't really see how an alliance with them would hurt us. We do need land from them eventually, but not right this second. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and accept this alliance, and maybe they can help us out in some future wars. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and recruit some additional personnel into our already standing military, and we're gonna go after the country of North Macedonia. And we're just about ready, so I'm hoping that 38 divisions is enough to take out the 130th ranked nation of North Macedonia. They do have an alliance with Montenegro, but they are ranked 150, so they're a lot weaker than even North Macedonia is. So in other words, we're completely fine. I'm not even going to call Romania into the war, because we don't need to do that. Let's go ahead and send our military straight in, and I'm really not expecting there to be much of any resistance here. I mean, how many troops could North Macedonia even have? Yeah, no. Absolutely none. So we absolutely crush their army. The game saves. And now we're gonna march right into their capital. They are sending reinforcements, and Montenegro is here, but I still don't think it's gonna be enough to take out the entire Greek army. Doesn't really matter though. We have just captured their capital city, and they actually didn't capitulate yet, which is kind of amazing since they only have 3 provinces. But now they do, and we can go ahead and negotiate a peace deal. So the reformation of Byzantium does call for all of North Macedonia, so we will fully annex them. We're also going to try to get some gold out of them. I don't know how that works if they're going to be completely annexed. How does the government give us money if the government no longer exists? Doesn't matter though. Let's enforce these demands. And now there is only one true Macedonia, and it's the Greek Macedonia. Apologies to the North Macedonians once again. Anyway, the biggest mechanic that we have to keep track of in this game is aggressive expansion. I've been screwed over by this feature many times. It's caused many of my runs to just, fall apart. And that's because if you get over 100, you get a coalition automatically formed against you. So we definitely don't want that to happen, but right now we're at 14, so we don't have to worry about it. Instead, we're going to be worrying about our next target, which I think is actually going to be Albania. Now, I probably could do back-to-back wars right here. They are allied with Kosovo, which I think that was random, but that's kind of cool how that worked. Allies in real life, allies here. They are considerably stronger than North Macedonia, so I might raise another army. Not a super large one though, because we don't have a lot of money and our economy still isn't great, but one that's probably going to be able to deal with Kosovo while the main army deals with Albania. All right, so the main army and the new army are now ready. Actually, we got a gift from Romania. They're giving us 30 gold coins. Thank you, Romania. Very cool. I'll use that to I don't know. I'm not going to call Romania into this war. I still don't think we necessarily need their help. So let's go ahead and declare war on Albania and also Kosovo, and let's see what happens. So my main army will be focused on the south, and oh, our northern army is going to get wiped out. I didn't turn the game speed down, so now they're just all dead. Doesn't matter though, the main army will make their way up north, and they're going to try to take over Tirana. I don't know, I haven't seen Albania's military. Oh, there it is. So we still have the number advantage, even though they just took out our smaller army. But we did take Tirana, so I guess Albania doesn't really care about that. But now our main army is going to move up north. We're going to try to occupy these 3 provinces, and we do. And actually, they don't capitulate yet. So similar to North Macedonia, apparently when you only have 2 provinces, you don't capitulate. Doesn't matter though, they are fighting our main army, but we took this province down here, which means we have a large enough war score to go ahead and demand a peace treaty. Now, we don't need all of Albania to form the Byzantine Empire, but I might just take all of Albania anyway, because I like land. We'll also take a bunch of money from them, we'll enforce the demands, and goodbye Albania. Hello, big Greece. So yeah, we didn't need these 3 northernmost provinces. We do need all of Kosovo though, and about a majority of Serbia. But on that topic, other than Kosovo, all of the countries we have to face upcoming are going to be pretty strong, and I guess also minus Cyprus, which means we got to focus on building our economy up a little bit because this military isn't going to be enough. We actually have so many troops that we're only getting 9 coins per turn, which is absolutely horrible. So I'm actually going to disband the entire main army, which in real life would be a horrible idea, but this is a video game, so it doesn't make logical sense. Apparently we can construct the Pantheon. I don't know why that doesn't already exist, but why not? Let's do it. Maybe we're like renovating it to be more Byzantine, but the Pantheon is already fairly Byzantine/Greek, so I have no idea what we're doing. But at this point, I have built up our economy a little bit more, so it is starting to grow, and we're also starting to unlock more of these missions, which do nothing but help our country even more. I honestly couldn't tell you what all of these do. All I know is that it makes money go up, so that's a good thing. Looks like Turkey is invading Bulgaria, which is going to be kind of a pain for us, especially considering that we need land from Romania and also all of Bulgaria. So if we're going to fight Turkey, we're going to have to take them on probably 2 times. They didn't actually annex all of it. They just split it into 2 separate pieces. That's horrible, Turkey. Why would you do that? Anyway, I just recruited a ton more troops, so we're going to go ahead and combine these into 1 division, and we're going to send them straight up to the border of Kosovo. Now, it doesn't look like they're aligned with anybody near us, so that is a good thing. We've already fought these guys once, so I don't think there's going to be much of an issue here at all. Let's go ahead and declare war and immediately put our troops into Pristina. And yeah, their army stood absolutely no chance, so let's go ahead and occupy this city. And just like that, we have taken out Kosovo for the 2nd time already. This will also be the last time we take out Kosovo, because we need to completely annex it. So let's go ahead and get some money, enforce our demands, and there we go. So now we've taken out all of the weak countries. Turkey went ahead and annexed all of Cyprus, so we don't have to worry about that anymore, which means that really all we have to fight now is Turkey, and then eventually our old ally in Romania, but also more notably Serbia, who is going to be our next target. But first, I'm going to build some windmills. Yeah, 5 of them. Actually, we have enough money for 6. Why not? 7 windmills. Honestly, I don't really know how windmills help our growth rate. It makes it go up by 8%. Sure, why not? We can also go ahead and unlock a legacy, so I think we're probably going to go with one of the economic ones. Actually, no, let's go with the military one. Let's do veteran generals, which is going to give us more attack. I'm going to build a bank down here in Athens. Now, the banks are probably like the best economic building to build because they give you more monthly income. So I'm going to put them all in our most populated cities, which for some reason, our most populated province is this one in Kosovo. I don't know how that makes sense, but sure, why not? We'll put one there, and we'll put one in this province as well. Why are all of our most populated provinces in Kosovo? These 4 are our most populous, and they're all in Kosovo. You're telling me there's more people living in this province than there is like in Athens? I won't think much of it, but let's just go ahead and build as many as we can. And they're all in the north in our conquered territories. Oh, our alliance with Romania has just expired, so I don't know if I'm going to renew that. I'm definitely not, because they actually hate us. I don't know what I did, but I'm sorry, Romania. I was going to try to have them help me out in a war against Serbia. Actually, no one around us likes us. Like, specifically, all of the countries that surround Greece hate us, and whoa. So Latvia just got nuked. Oh no, that's Lithuania, but I think Russia just nuked Lithuania. That might be a little bit excessive, don't we think? Doesn't matter though, time to raise a new army because we have our sights set on Serbia. Now I'm gonna take probably 1 loan, maybe 2 loans here. I know that doing so is gonna make our inflation go crazy, but Turkey is advancing pretty quickly and I don't want them to become too strong, so I wanna raise this army as quickly as possible so we can take out Serbia, take out the rest of Bulgaria, and then fight up against Turkey. They're currently ranked as the number 9 power in the world. We are ranked at number 26. Greece. But now we have this new army here. We'll go ahead and appoint this general. And I think this is enough troops to go ahead and invade all of Serbia. We also did just unlock sustainable land use, so we can go ahead and do that. That's going to help our economy out a ton. And Serbia is allied with both Moldova and Romania. So we're not going to do that. They have a defensive pact with Romania and they have an actual alliance with Moldova. So yeah, no, we don't want to fight Romania and Serbia at the same time. That would not end well. But now we're kind of stuck. We don't have anywhere to really invade. So we're just going to have to wait for Serbia and Romania's alliance to expire and then I can attack them. But for now, I'm going to work on their economy. So you just wait a second while the camera cuts and I'll do this. All right, so it's been a few years now, maybe even a few decades, but I have built up the Greek economy a ton. We are now able to sustain having this many troops because before it was draining us of all of our money. We couldn't even sustain it, but now we can. And I've built a ton of banks, a ton of irrigation. I've invested a ton in these provinces up here since for some reason there's a ton of people here. But our economy is now good. Now, for the rest of the world, there appears to be a lot of wars happening. Apparently all of North America, the big three, are in a war, and Russia and Belarus are in a war. And if I had to guess, maybe it's not what it looks like. Now, you might think that the US is at war with Russia and they brought both of their allies in, but no, they're at war with both Mexico and Canada for some unknown reason. And as of right now, they are losing this war. They did take over Cuba, but Mexico is invading that. But we'll check in on these guys later. Russia is actually fighting Ukraine and Belarus. I guess their relations with Belarus broke down after they got a new leader, and then Ukraine is Ukraine, so obviously they're gonna... Wait a minute, they have a puppet state in Crimea? I think that the game has this as Russia's puppet, but I guess Ukraine got it somehow. Anyway though, back to us. We are now ready to invade Serbia. They're allied with Bulgaria, but as we know, Bulgaria is just 2 provinces, so that's really nothing to worry about. Let's go ahead and declare war on Serbia, and let's see if we can win this war. So we're going to send our main army towards their capital city. We'll send the smaller one up into these other regions to occupy as many provinces as possible, but they also could be used for reinforcements, especially if the Serbian army just targets them right off the bat. Like, there's 66 divisions right outside your capital city and you're worried about these guys. Doesn't matter though, because our army is around 3 times larger than Serbia's, so we're going to send reinforcements down and we're going to absolutely crush their entire military in one battle. And now we'll send our main force up to Belgrade and we're going to try to take that capital city. Yeah, this invasion is going extremely well. I honestly thought that Serbia would be a little bit stronger, but apparently our military is just that good. So we're going to be able to take Belgrade. We're going to move our remaining divisions around to get these provinces so we can go ahead and hurry up the capitulation process. And there we go. So Serbia capitulates, and before we do that, let's actually take a look at what land we need to form the Byzantine Empire. Looks like around half of Serbia following these 4 provinces here. So we won't demand those provinces, but we will take everything south of them. So all of these, which is still a ton of land, we actually can't make them into a puppet state, but we can make them pay war reparations as well as take a bunch of money from them. So let's just do that instead. We'll enforce our demands, and there we go. So Greece is now a very tall country, not very wide, very tall though, all the way from Crete up into like central Serbia, Belgrade. But that is all the land that we need from them, and now our only remaining opponents are the rest of Bulgaria, Turkey, and Romania. Also, technically North Cyprus, but they're a puppet state of Turkey, so we'll take them on when we take Turkey on. But something I've just noticed is that we've actually fallen in total world rankings, like we've gotten weaker somehow, which is interesting because I've definitely worked on our economy, and our military is probably one of the better ones in the world if we're like discluding great powers. Oh, it just updated. We're now ranked 20. So we went up 9 spots from that war. Okay. Anyway, I do have to assimilate all of Serbia into Greece before I go after my next opponent, because otherwise we might get rebellions that pop up, and that would be no good. I might also try to start improving my relations with other countries around me because I don't want everyone to hate me. Also, if I have bad relations with everyone and I go over 100 aggressive expansion, those countries will join the coalition. They won't join if I have good relations with them though. So every country we don't have to invade, I'm going to go ahead and send a diplomat over, especially the stronger countries over here in Western Europe like France and Germany, and maybe even the UK. But according to our treasury menu, we are actually a struggling economy, so we're going to hold off on any future wars, probably one with Bulgaria, and instead I'm going to build up our economy even more. So once again, just wait a second, the camera will cut there. All right, actually it hasn't been super long since I last cut away, but we did just have our peace treaty with Bulgaria expire, which means we can go ahead and go to war with them. They don't have any allies. I'll go ahead and send over an insult, and we can just go ahead and deal with these guys. They're not going to be much of an issue because once again, they only have 2 provinces, and they're probably like the weakest country in the world. Maybe wait, Italy has just offered us an alliance. Now, I do believe we have to finish off Bulgaria before we accept that, because otherwise they won't. So I'm hoping that we can do that before this offer expires. And we can. So let's go ahead and quickly occupy and annex all of Bulgaria. We'll go ahead and take some money from them as well, which is 21 bucks, so not sure what we're gonna do with that. But there we go, Bulgaria is now under our control, and we can accept this alliance from Italy. This is gonna be huge. Somehow, Italy has become the 5th strongest country in the world. They have the 5th best economy in the world, and now they're our official ally. So, when we go to war with a certain somebody here soon, they're gonna help us out tremendously, and they're probably even gonna carry us through the war. Our current rankings indicate that we're the 17th strongest country in the world, and we have the 29th best economy. And our economy is actually purely based in Kosovo and like northern Albania for some reason. I've tried to increase our economy in Athens, yeah, so that actually has started to work. You can see the darker color here. But I guess the Kosovans are just very beneficial for the overall economy and population. Our population splits tell us that we're only actually 56% Greek. We have 19% of our population being Serbian, 10% Albanian, 7%-ish being Kosovan, or I think Kosovar is actually the correct term. But yeah, Bulgaria no longer exists, which means in order to form the Byzantine Empire, we had to fight up against 2 main countries, one of them being Turkey, obviously, and then a few little pieces of land from Romania all the way over here. Now, logically, it would make sense for us to attack Turkey first, but we could go after Romania just because, like, they're weaker than Turkey, and, like, because it won't take us as much time and manpower. Let's see, they're ranked at 26, we're ranked at 18, so we're definitely stronger than them. Turkey is ranked at number 7. Romania actually doesn't have any allies right now. They don't have any defensive pacts or anything like that, so I think we will attack them right now. Okay, maybe not like right this instant, but I will build up our army a little bit more just in case, because remember, this is Romania we're talking about, not like North Macedonia. So let's recruit a ton of divisions here. We're going to combine them with our smaller army. We're going to call Italy into the war, and then we're going to attack Romania. Our economy is definitely struggling because of all these troops, but it will be over soon, hopefully. So we'll combine that together. We now have about the same number of troops in each division. And before we actually jump into that war, I want to check on the American war. And, well, Mexico is gone. Actually, no, they still exist. They have taken the form of Belize, except they extend all the way up into Yucatan. That's a horrible looking country, but, you know, America won, so if you're American, that's a good thing. Doesn't look like Canada lost any land, so that's also a good thing. Hold on, Canada is ranked as the 6th strongest country in the world? How is that even possible? They have the 5th best economy. Canada. I don't know what they're exporting. Maybe they've like increased production in like maple syrup. I don't know, timber, I guess. But to be the number 5 economy in the world, that's really impressive, Canada. What about this war over here? It looks like Belarus no longer exists. Actually, that might have been Poland that Russia was fighting against. I don't really know what happened there, but Russia and Ukraine apparently like each other now. They were literally just killing each other. It's fine, I won't question it. What other weird map changes can we point out here? Okay, well, first of all, something very bad has happened in the Middle East. Iraq has taken over almost all of Saudi Arabia, and Iran has taken over Azerbaijan and Turkmenistan. Pakistan no longer exists. That is now just India. Uruguay is gone. Looks like Brazil is in a war with Chile. Actually, not too many okay, actually, what is this? The UK has occupied all of Spain. Spain only exists in Galicia as well as like the Basque area, so they got messed up. Ireland has taken over all of southern Spain. The Strait of Gibraltar is now Irish. Is Ireland even? Oh, they have all of, wait. Okay, so Ireland beat the UK in the war, and in the war, they took over all of Northern Ireland, the Isle of Man, and randomly southern Spain, and a random port over here in Morocco. Western Europe has been up to some very interesting shenanigans. Oh my god, Liechtenstein is huge! Okay, they're not huge, but they have 3 additional provinces from Switzerland. That's kind of cool. I never really see this happen. All right, more important matters though, we have to go ahead and declare war on and invade Romania. So let's go ahead and throw some insults at their face. We'll call Italy into the war, and we will declare said war. So I'm actually feeling pretty confident in this one. I was pretty unconfident for Serbia, but now that we have 120-ish, actually 130-ish divisions, I think we'll fare up a lot better. So let's send these guys straight over to Bucharest. I don't really know what they're doing down here. The main issue that you guys have is right in your capital city right about now. But yeah, we actually might be able to take out all of Romania before, actually maybe not. So their main army is actually way overpowering our other division down here. So we're gonna have to send reinforcements. I don't even know if they're gonna get there in time. We might lose our entire division, and they get there in time, I think? They do. Okay, so now they're going to try to occupy the capital city. They're going to deal with some like National Guard people, but they'll be fine. Italy has just arrived. Oh my god, Italy has a ton of troops. This kind of worries me a little bit, because if Italy, the number 5, actually Italy is ranked at number 2 now. I don't know what Italy has done to become so strong, but they're ranked number 2. But what I was saying is they have a lot of divisions, and Turkey being number 7, I feel like they're going to have a ton of divisions as well. We really don't have the economy to produce like this many troops, so we're going to have to build up our economy even more after this war. But for now, let's focus on on southern Romania. I'll allow the Italians to focus on the Transylvania area, but we're going to be able to take their capital city, and let's send them over here to the coast. We'll send these guys up here towards Moldova, and just like that, Romania has officially capitulated, so let's go ahead and make a peace deal. Now, technically, we only need these 4 coastal provinces over here, but I might take a little bit more just to make it worth it, since, you know, we did invade all of their country. So I'll go ahead and demand these provinces, and I might take a few down here near the border of Serbia as well. And I'm sorry that I'm doing this, but we're gonna take this land. Now, I know, this looks horrible. This is probably like the worst borders I've ever made in Age of History 3, but I need you to see the vision. I need you to understand that we're gonna be taking over Bulgaria and a majority of Turkey. So this is just temporary. This is very temporary pain. Also, we have negative 32 coins in the bank. That's not good. Anyway, the war with Romania is officially over. They're not gonna like us, so I'm gonna actually go ahead and send over a diplomat. But now I'm gonna focus on building up our economy even more, so I will see you in a hot second. Alright, so I've built up our economy considerably well. We're making around 52 coins per turn now, which is very well. In the absence of time, Hungary formed a very large country, but as you just saw, they got crushed by Poland, who also got crushed by Germany. Italy just tried to call me into a war with the UK and Liechtenstein. I guess they're attacking Liechtenstein, and then like the UK guaranteed them. I don't think they needed my help in that war. I think they got it. Looks like well, actually, maybe not. Oh, no, there's the rest of the Italian military. Okay, so goodbye. You were very cool while you lasted. Actually, I'm in the war. I don't remember ever agreeing to this, but anyway, I didn't have to lose any troops, so that's good. But I think right about now is the time that we should be attacking Turkey, so I'm going to start to raise a very large army over here. Our alliance with Italy did just expire, but they went ahead and offered us a new one. Our relations with them were actually pretty mid. They were at like 10, so I went ahead and gave them a bunch of money, so they're our ally again. That's cool. Looks like Romania also offered us a non-aggression pact. I will sign that because there's no point in us going to war with them, so if for some reason us going to war with Turkey brings in other countries, they won't be one of them. But they've definitely seen better days, and I kind of feel like this is my fault, so the least I can do is sign their non-aggression pact, right? Anyway, the last little bit of our army was just recruited. Now, I didn't actually do the same amount for each type of division. I don't think that will come back to bite me, but if it does, then that's going to be really unfortunate. But we now have a very large invasion force of around 160 total divisions. Actually, it's more like 190. I can't count. Okay, 186. But I think that we should be ready for Turkey. Now, on our own, we would get destroyed in this war, but we're going to be relying heavily on Italy. So let's go ahead and declare war on Turkey. They are going to call on Uzbekistan, so we have to be careful about that. You know, we don't want to be crushed by Uzbekistan that is landlocked over here and shares no border with Turkey. But yeah, let's declare war and let's hope for the best. So immediately, I'm going to focus all of our divisions in on the European area. So we're going to send some troops into Thrace, and the rest of them will go into Bulgaria. If we can kick the Turks out of this area before their army gets here, that'll be super beneficial for us. And in fact, that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and send this division down here towards the entrance of the Sea of Marmara. I don't know if it's pronounced Marmara or Marmara, but either way. The Turks are now approaching, so we have to be careful with this. I don't know who they're going to attack. Looks like they're attacking these guys, but we do have the numbers. Okay, well, never mind. They're going to need some reinforcements as soon as possible because I believe this is going to be the entire Turkish military. So we're even going to bring down these guys as well. We'll station them right here. Well, let's hope our reinforcements can get there, first of all. They didn't, so now these guys are going to be sent home. And that's a very large army. We're going to need Italy to get here as soon as possible. Oh, they are here. They're just not in the right front. Okay, well, the chances are that our entire military is going to be wiped out here by Turkey, in which it is. The surviving units will go down here to the island of Eresos. But yeah, this is what we want. We want the Italians to do the dirty work for us. Meanwhile, we'll just go ahead and recuperate ourselves on this island. Now, we do need a little bit more money to do this, so I'm going to take another loan. Our economy is in shambles at this point because I have 3 loans going. But yeah, Italy is going to fight most of this war for us, so shout out to Italy. We're also negative 1,000 coins in debt, so ouch. But that does mean that we just reinforce our military, so we're not going to sit back and just, you know, have Italy do it for us. We're going to at least help them out. So let's send a few units down to Cyprus. We'll send a few units down over here to Syria. We'll attack Turkey where most of their forces won't be, because they're going to definitely be worried about the main Italian army over here. But there we go. We made our landings in the Middle East. We'll go ahead and take out northern Cyprus. We'll send these guys down to Damascus, which is right here, I think. We'll put these guys over here in Lebanon. We're going to target like the more populated areas so Turkey can't pull any manpower from there. But at this point, you know, Turkey has lost a lot of their more valuable areas. They actually have hold of Istanbul right now. And Uzbekistan is invading me. Okay, so I made a joke earlier about how Uzbekistan wasn't going to do anything because they're landlocked, but apparently Apparently they're doing it, and they have 53 divisions over here in the panhandle of Greece. I'm not going to send any of my troops over there because I don't even know why they're there in the first place. I think Italy's going to deal with it. So I'm just going to focus on Turkey. I'll let them run their course over here. The Italians are coming, so, you know, beware, Uzbekistan. Oh yeah, okay. So their navy is getting pummeled right now. So while Italy focuses on occupying all the provinces over in Anatolia, I'll put my armies in like Syria and this area over here. What even happens over here? Like, what happens in the province of WICSO? Anyway, though, if I go ahead and move my face real quick, you can see right under me, like right there, you see the war score thing? It's like 79% right now. Once it reaches 90, we officially capitulate Turkey, and honestly, I don't really know how they're still going right now because they have like no provinces. So I think at this point, it just comes down to a matter of time. Like, the longer we occupy this area, the more war score we get and the closer to capitulation they are. I think also if we kill some of their divisions, it weakens them, and it does. So they're now at 90%, which means we can force a peace deal. And this is how many provinces we need. Now, honestly, we're not going to get all of them because we don't have a high enough war score, but I will try to get as many as possible. So let's see what that looks like. So starting off with Bulgaria, we'll take all of this, and we're already out of war score, which is right here. This is that number. So we can take like the entrance into this strait, and then we won't even be able to take like the area near Constantinople. Actually Istanbul, but soon to be called Constantinople. And yeah, that's all we can do. We're just taking this land. Now, Italy isn't going to get any land from Turkey, which is probably going to make them mad at us. For now, we're good though. I'm going to send a diplomat just in case. But something that I wish we could do in this game is give our allies land, because Italy fought this war for us and they didn't get anything. So I kind of feel bad for them, but we have much bigger issues. Negative 1,100 coins in debt. I'm no economic expert, but I don't think that's a good thing. It's definitely because of our huge army. So I'm going to split this large one in half, and we're going to disband all of these units. So there we go, they're gone, and that doubles our economic output, so that's huge. But for now, until I make up the rest of the money, we are not going to be able to do anything other than sit here and pay off our debt. It does look like we're still reinforcing some of these divisions, which is probably why we keep losing money. So I'm going to split this one off as well, and then I'm going to move to disband them all, so that's going to help our economy even more. That adds 12 economic output per turn. Still though, we're really deep in the hole, so I'm going to go ahead and put all of our troops into one province. Let's combine them all together, and then let's see what we have too much of. So we're around 3,000 over in infantry, 1,000 over in mechanics, and then 1,000 over in fighter jets. So we'll go ahead and disband all those units, and then we'll just split them in half. So we have two large armies of 60. We also have to give these guys some generals, otherwise they won't be doing anything on the battlefield. But yeah, I'm going to do another economic cutaway. I'm going to build up our economy even more, and I'll see you in a second. All right, so I've dramatically increased our economy. It's super good now. However, as you've noticed, there's a revolt, and I think that's probably because I have taxation a little bit too high right now. So I'm actually going to cut off taxes completely, which is going to make us a total of 0.21 coins per turn. But I'm going to have to send these armies up into Kosovo to deal with those rebels. This is a very important area financially, so let's just hope that they don't do too much damage. They're going to knock out one of my divisions I just recruited, which not cool, man. But they will go bye-bye, so goodbye revolt. And I'm going to immediately raise taxes again because I need money. Don't be alarmed, Turkey. Do not be alarmed. It's just a very large number of divisions. They're not organized. They don't even have a general. I'm totally not about to attack you again. Okay, that's 107 divisions. I might have went a little bit overboard. Let's go ahead and split these guys in half. I think that's fair. We'll also go ahead and get them some new generals, and I did, yeah. So apparently the plague is back. It's killed a total of 1,700 people in this province. Oh my god. Okay, so the plague is back in full force. It's affecting all of the Middle East, and now it's spreading into Europe. Oh, and it's gone. Okay, so the good news is that it wasn't the Black Plague, otherwise everybody would be dead. But I think we're now just about ready to attack Turkey for the second time. Now, I'm not too sure if we're gonna have to attack them again after this. It just depends on how the war goes. But for now, let's declare war. Let's go ahead and call Italy back into the war. Now, I did go ahead and renew our alliance with them, so we should be good on that part. But let's go ahead and start our invasion. So I'm gonna send both of these divisions straight into Istanbul. These guys down here will go ahead and invade into Marmaris. And I'll go ahead and put this other division over here in like Torbali. Now, once again, we're going to be pretty heavily relying on Italy in this war because Turkey is going to have the numbers advantage, at least not right here. But overall, they're going to have the numbers advantage, I think. Or maybe not. That's a total of 5 divisions. Okay, that's 81. Yeah, reinforcements do get there, and we're going to be able to take them out, so that's a good sign. But yeah, with all these divisions getting here now, we're going to go ahead and just send our army all over the place. I'm going to try to personally occupy as many provinces as possible to see if that gives us more land in the peace deal. But yeah, we are decimating Turkey in this war. I guess they still haven't haven't recovered from the previous war. But yeah, this is going considerably better than the first time. In fact, Turkey has already capitulated. I am going to go ahead and try to occupy the entirety of this country though, just to see if that helps us get more land out of the peace deal. I'm not too sure if that's how that works in this game, but we're about to find out. And also, I'm once again 1,500 coins in the hole. But we have now officially occupied 100% of Turkey, so let's see what we can get in this peace deal. So our number one target is going to be the westernmost provinces of Turkey, so we'll go ahead and demand all of those. But I'm also going to demand all of Cyprus, or not. That's all right. We can take away some land gains from over here and instead invest them in the rest of Cyprus. So the peace treaty is going to end up looking something like this. We'll annex all of this, including Istanbul, which we're going to quickly rename to Constantinople, and we also are going to get all of Cyprus. So we'll enforce those demands. We're going to move our troops across the border of Turkey, and we're simply just going to wait for the next time that we can declare war on them so we can hurry up and finish off this Byzantine Empire. I'm also going to do something that's probably stupid, but I'm going to take 2 loans just so we can get out of debt. We are averaging 2 coins per turn, which is not good. I promise our economy is good though. We're ranked at number 15. Also ranked at number 12 in total power. All right, and we are ready to invade Turkey once again. Now, for some reason, they really like us. We have plus 70 relations with them. I don't know what kind of drugs they were doing to think that I'm friendly with them, because my troops are still on their border. But let's go ahead and hurl some insults at them, you know, maybe make fun of the Turkish leader, call him stupid or something. We are out of debt, so we don't have to worry about that. But let's go ahead and call Italy into our 3rd war against Turkey. Hopefully this is the last one, but at this pace, I have no idea. There might be yet another one after this. We do have most of their valuable provinces though, including Constantinople, which I did rename. That was the most valuable province that Turkey had, so it took a lot of war score. But I think at this point we should be fine. So let's send these guys down to Syria, and we'll just have these guys advance on all fronts. I'm gonna let Italy come in and clean up these provinces that I didn't get. Let's put these guys down in Ankara. Let's see how many troops Turkey has. Okay, so it's pretty even, but our military is superior, so we're gonna win that matchup. And we are just moving right through Turkey. Once again, they really don't stand much of a chance against this new Greek army, and adding Italy in is not really fair for them at all. But that is to say that we really don't need Italy as an ally anymore. Now, I'm not gonna like drop my alliance with them because it's still cool to have an ally, but we definitely don't need them because this is enough. But yeah, majority of the provinces in Turkey are now under our control, either our control or Italian control. So let's see if we can get what we need out of this peace deal. We're gonna need all that, which is a lot. All right, we cannot, but we will take all of this land, including their capital city. So much similar to last time, I'm gonna snap my fingers, the camera will cut away, and we'll start our 4th war against Turkey. All right, so our peace treaty with Turkey has just expired yet again, so we can start our 4th war, the 4th Greco-Turkish War against this country. I kind of feel bad. Italy no longer likes us, and that's because I didn't join their war against Croatia, so that kind of sucks. We don't have an ally anymore. And Turkey is allied with Egypt, who is a strong country. On top of that, our aggressive expansion is at 51, which is kind of high, you know, it's over 50%, but nothing to worry about just yet. I would like an ally though, and I don't think any of these countries want to be my ally. Yeah, Turkey decided to ally with Montenegro. Sure, why not? The number 2 strongest country in the world and the number 136 strongest country in the world, who is only a local power. These guys are great powers. Anyway, I don't really think we're gonna need an ally in this war. Now, the one thing that's worrying me is Egypt. They've become pretty large, pretty strong, but Romania just offered us an alliance, which is completely unexpected, but we will accept that. From lovers to enemies to lovers once again, welcome back Romania. But that makes me a little bit more confident in the war against Egypt and Turkey, so let's go ahead and start this thing. Let's call them immediately into the war, so as soon as they sign the alliance, they're drawn into a large conflict. But they probably knew what they were signing up for. I mean, if you just watch the map, you'll know that Greece is very expansionist. But yeah, hopefully this is our last war against Turkey, because 4 was already enough, but we'll see. Oh god, okay, so this division is screwed. That's fine though, they're in Syria, we don't have to worry about that just yet. All right, so the war is going pretty well. I'm a little bit worried about all these Egyptian troops. We don't have Romania over here yet because I don't really think they have much of an army to send. Iran just gave us money, 15 coins. Thank you, Iran, very cool. Actually, do we have good relations with them? We do. I don't know how that happened, but well, I'll take it. All right, so that's 75 Egyptian troops invading in the Greek land. I'm going to try to deal with that as quickly as possible. I'm assuming and also hoping that that is Egypt's entire army, because if not, we might be screwed. But meanwhile, back over here in Turkey, Turkey is the one screwed. Now, I'm going to turn on the army controlled by AI thing just real quick so this war can hurry up and get over with. Not that I'm trying to rush it or anything, but micromanaging this entire front can be pretty annoying. So I'll just let the robot do it for me. I don't think there's any ethical issues with that, right guys? Also, interestingly enough, Turkey put their new capital city in, well, not in Damascus, but right next to it. So I guess the Syrians are in control of Turkey. Also, Romania has finally sent forces to the front line. I actually didn't expect them to do that, so good on them for fulfilling our alliance and actually coming to my aid. Even if it's like gonna do absolutely nothing for their country. Who knows, maybe I'll give them back all of their old land. But we have capitulated Turkey, and hopefully this time we will get all of the land that we need. Let's see. Okay, there's going to be a 5th Greco-Turkish war. See you there. Okay, 5th time is the charm, right? They are still allied with Egypt, but we have my boy Romania. Let's hope that it works this time, and also hope that a coalition doesn't form during the war. We're at 96, so we should be fine. But yeah, okay, so it looks like Romania is actually doing most of the work for us at this point. I don't know how that happened, but Turkey is gone for the 5th time, so please, 5th time is the charm. And indeed it is. 5th time is the charm. So this is all of the land that we need to form the Byzantine Empire. After 5 wars against Turkey, we're ready. So I'm going to annex all of this land, and then I'm going to demand the liberation of both Lebanon and Syria, so they will become independent nations again. And then we'll just take a bunch of money, and we'll take reparations, all that cool stuff. Let's enforce these demands, and there we go. We finally, after 5 wars, have all of the land we need to form the Byzantine Empire. Now, we do have 127 aggressive expansion, which means there's definitely going to be some kind of coalition that comes after us. Maybe not, though, because we don't really have any countries that are like aggressively hostile towards us. But yeah, I can now finally hit this button that says form civilization. But first, I have a gift for Romania. They're going to be getting all of their old provinces in the back. Now, not all of them, because we need the ones over here near the ocean, but they can have all of those ones. We don't need those for Byzantium. And I could also bring back Albania. Sure, why not? Let's bring back Albania. You can have those 2 provinces. Actually, scratch that. You can have these 3 provinces. But yeah, we have a puppet state now, which is kind of cool, but we don't need it. Let's go ahead and finally form the Byzantine Empire. It's back in all of its glory, plus a little bit more land over here from Turkey, but I think I deserve that after 5 wars. Instantly, we become the 13th strongest country in the world with the 14th best economy and the 15th most people living here. So this recording ended up being exactly 2 hours long, which was not expected. I'm going to be editing this video all day tomorrow, so I really hope you guys watch this video and enjoy it. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below hashtag blue cup. Blue cup. Yeah, hashtag blue cup. This one right here, blue cup. That lets me know that you watched the video entirely through, and it also lets me know that you are a very good viewer. I'll probably heart your comment if I remember to. But yeah, Byzantine Empire is back. I have no idea how I did an entire video where I formed the entire Roman Empire. This took me 2 hours. That took me like 3 hours or 4 hours, so I don't know what I did to make this take so long, but maybe it's because Italy is by default a stronger country than Greece. But yeah, this took a very long time, but it was also super fun. So if you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new. As always, the support is greatly appreciated as we're trying to expand our audience here on YouTube and reach new viewers who haven't seen my videos before. If you're one of those new viewers, make sure to subscribe. But for everyone else, make sure to leave a comment down below of what you thought of this video. Leave some suggestions for other Age of History 3 scenarios. If this video does well enough, I'll do more in the future. I haven't done one in a while though. Not because the last video did bad, but because it was like really weird. It like started off bad, but then it became really good. So these Age of History 3 videos, I've said this before, but they're kind of like investments. But yeah, they take a really long time to make though. So do show support if you really did truly enjoy. Make sure to check out the 200,000 subscriber merchandise. Link to that down in the description below. There's also a link to the Discord server, which you should check out if you want to. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.
And of course, thank you to all our super fans.
This includes Andrew
Truno,
02,
Apex,
Dex Lendy,
Sue,
Shifty Mapping,
Beast the Mapper,
Omega the YouTuber,
Bren,
Opie the Bopey,
Euroball,
Wizo,
Rad is totally my
Terminator,
name.
See What I Do,
AdizzPro,
I Ain't
Jazzy
Lying,
Jerboa,
CTG on
Nevada
YT,
Garbage Trucks,
Green France
in
Mapping,
Volleyball Mapping,
Ozgeo,
a Norwegian,
Augusto,
Pablo
Rocker
Sigma Cat,
GNR95,
Goose,
Zaylance,
RS,
Laser Taze,
and Hammer Toad 45. Once again, thank you guys.